All right. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. This is a special edition, a special Tuesday edition of the Dating Diaries. This is the Toxic Trinity, Ready to Love, the Gentleman's Edition. My name is Crystal XO, and I am one half of the conversation. The other half, of course, is Scorpio Mo.
Hello, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. First of all, let me say thank you to you for jumping on a Tuesday because I have to work tomorrow and I will be not available. And I just felt like we just really needed to have a conversation. It would not hold. It would not hold until Friday. So I appreciate you being flexible. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
Today. I love to see the family here. Oh, Haitian Empress in the building early.
Oh, hey, early. Okay.
It's a good day. It's a good day. So yeah, if you guys are tuning in, this is the special edition. I call it the Toxic Trinity. You guys know, if you've watched Ready to Love, you know I'm talking about Bello, Vince, and Darius. Who is the most toxic? What is going on? I got on Sunday and actually I think Saturday, and I did a conversation about the women. And I thought, you know what, I needed to make sure that we balance it out. And so I asked our good sir Mo here, would he do the same thing? Could we come in and talk about the men? Because I tried to be, you know, as honest as I could about. Thank you, Haitian Empress. I have more coming. We're gonna do some new stuff. But yeah, I just felt like, you know, I talked about the women. I feel like people really were coming down on Nicole. I saw a lot of people blaming Nicole and Donna and Lauren. I saw a lot of people saying that the women, you know, they should have known better. Why would Donna go out with him? And you know, in regards to Vince, and then, you know, and then in regards to Bello with Dominique, I saw a lot of people saying that they felt like Dominique was, you know, she should have known better. You know, she should have known better, and all this stuff. And so I just thought, you know, let's have a man speak to the men, because all season Mo has been telling us things, and in the chat, you know, we've all been saying, are you sure? Maybe it's not quite like that, and you know, all these things. And so I thought we would just you know, have Mo come to the stand and just answer on behalf of the gentleman. Now, we are specifically tonight talking about Bello, Vince, and Darius. That is all. We will save Friday after the reunion for Devon and Cardi, and you know, anybody else that is mentioned in that part of the reunion, or just to kind of recap. But I just want to keep this specific tonight to the gentlemen that are that we're speaking about. Is that okay with you?
The three-head monster is what I like to call them.
Are you okay with? I don't want to put you on the spot. Are you comfortable?
Let me tell you something. They already kicked me out the gentleman club, so I can speak freely now.
Okay. All right.
They already kicked me out. They say I exposed too much. Fuck it. I'm here now.
Okay. We love to see it. We love to see it. You know what? If you guys are tuning in, tap somebody, send this. Go ahead and like and share this, so that people know that Mo is going to be dropping some, you know, some gems and some information, because he no longer has he's no longer in violation. You know, he's able to speak freely. So we're going to get into that. Before we get into the guys, let me ask you really quickly, did you want to speak about the young ladies? Because the reason I really wanted to do this was because people were really, really going hard on the ladies, specifically Nicole. I mean, people, that's why I just was like, yo, man, like, what is happening? Like, people were really, really, really hard on Nicole. I did also see a lot of people go really, really hard on Dominique and Lauren. You know what I mean? I think I think Nicole obviously got the brunt of it, and then next I would say Dominique, but Lauren also did get some, some flack as well. So I would love to just hear you kind of give your opinion on those ladies.
I got a theory on Lauren first.
Okay, let's do it.
Remember how we have the conversation about not wanting to lose?
We have.
I'm feeling like this is that.
Yeah.
Redeeming yourself and still coming out with you might think is the winner or one up on. And I don't think it's about him. I think it's more about I'll show them who they.
Yeah.
He really wants. Pardon me. If she could have got Bello, would have got him.
Now let me ask you this: out of the three, because I really didn't know. I know we heard in that explosive part of the reunion, the first part, we learned that Vince was talking to Lauren, Donna, and Nicole.
Right.
And also we learned, and this is what the finale, that Bello had mentioned to Lauren on the way out that he wanted to still date her after the process was over. And then also we know that Lauren had a connection with Steven. Do you think any of those? Are you buying any of those people? Do you think that she was into any of them? If so, who do you think she was into the most?
I think it really was. I don't know. I think it's more about winning than anything else. But if I had to pick,
yeah,
I'd say Bello, because that's the one she stuck in more to. I think for the younger ladies, possibly maybe she felt like she was as good as better at them, and I can still get this man. As far as Bello is concerned, I still think it might be a slight competition with Dominique, and how could he not pick me?
Right.
About her winning, and at the end, but then again, the guys did holler, and this is the thing. I think the guys, one thing on camera, one thing. I think safer bet was off camera. I know she likes me, so I don't have to run after that. I can take.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah.
That's the safe bet. So when these lights go off, I can still holler at that because I think she likes me.
Gotcha.
She's going away. Maybe she think like she can still be a winner. She's not on the show no more. I can tell it to her. Hey, I'm just following through with the competition. Meanwhile, by the time she sees this, I done already robbed the bank. I'm just saying.
It's a no holds barred night tonight. Mo is giving us the gentleman's perspective, no holds barred. All right. That is the situation with Lauren. Let me ask you next. Let's just go to Donna. Not Mo. No, first, wait. Now. Mo,
I'm listening.
Let's go to Donna. And I know that you have been
nothing. We're gonna stick to
okay. What do you think about Donna? Because a lot of people were saying that I don't get this. I didn't understand it, but this is not for me to talk about tonight. A lot of people felt like Donna should not have listened to Vince. They felt like she looked stupid. I don't understand it, but a lot of people really, really had a problem with Donna even hearing Vince out.
I find it funny that I wonder how many people in their real lives been through similar situations. Like, we're seeing it now because we have a bird's eye view.
Right.
Like, ask yourself, have you ever fallen for something, that you didn't see at first?
Yeah.
And he liked you, or you liked him, and it seemed right, and you're uncertain, and he's holding your hand, trying to convince you, and you give it a shot, and then later on you find out it wasn't what it was presented to be.
I'll raise my hand.
Yeah, as a man, it's happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to fault these women because we saw all angles and we're looking at them like they're crazy, I think is a little harsh, and we got to give a little grace because I just think we've all been in that position.
Yeah.
One time or another.
Yeah.
So I don't blame her. I'm more shocked that anybody just even wanted her, but that's none of my business. That's none of my business.
I'm moving on to Nicole. Nicole got it rough, man. I mean, social media went in. Again, the clip that was released today that I posted, they don't like. It ain't good. It ain't good. People really had a problem with seeing Nicole talk about going out with. Well, first of all, not recognizing that Ed wasn't into her, and then she, after Ed wasn't into her, then she moved on to surprisingly, she moved on to Vince, because I don't think people really saw that happening. People were really, really, really hard on Nicole, and a lot of women felt like she doesn't have any self-esteem. She doesn't, just was a pick me. Just it was bad. What do you say about Nicole?
I would say I understand a lot of that, but what no one's doing, and we're gonna get further in that once we talk about these fellas, is that I see a woman that was vulnerable at and then I saw someone take advantage of that. That's what I saw. I saw someone take advantage. You wasn't talking about this was any of your choice. We already knew where you were going. I saw, and you might think she was attractive, right? And I think you left your options open, and then you played with it. I think you saw a woman that was vulnerable, and you attacked, and you attacked it in a low key, unassuming way, but you still attacked.
And when you say you're speaking of who at this point?
Speaking of Vince.
Speaking of Vince. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, and then she do what she does, what vulnerable people do. I think she wants to be loved.
Yeah.
Wants to be loved. She wants to be held. She wants to be in a relationship. And then when she got that feeling, I believe, I was about to say another word. I believe he made love to her in such a way that she was with it, and she was willing to, and she wants to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
And she found out things along the way, but she's still holding on. That's what I felt. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
She's not innocent. I mean, she's coming from it. I think once she comes all the way out of it and gets some therapy or whatever it may be, I think she's going to be like, what was I doing? And we've all had one of those.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? I can't believe I did that. Yeah. I mean, she's going to be reminded we're not, it is what it is. It's going to, the internet's going to remind her constantly. But I think it's one of them. I think this is a woman that wants to be loved, wants to be in a relationship. And the first thing that didn't work out, somebody comes along in a vulnerable state. You would have to know that. If he's who y'all say he is, Vince, then he knew that. If not, then he's not who y'all thought. He's definitely not who y'all thought he was anyway. I'm just saying, the guy you thought he was, and you think he is, in some cases, smart. He had to know that. Come on now. That's like the widow at the funeral. And be like, if you need anything,
I mean anything. Do not hesitate to call.
Right. That's what this is to me.
So are you saying that you feel like, now let's, because I don't want to go, I don't want to go into Vince first. I want to, because I feel like we're going to need to talk about that the most. But you saying that you feel like with Nicole, do you feel like that was they were on equal ground? Do you feel like that was equal?
Nah, I don't think she was in a healthy state. I don't think she was clearly. I mean, he said when she was leaving, he said he came to her. She didn't come to him.
That's what she said. Yep.
You know, and here it is. It's a nice looking man, and she's feeling away, vulnerable, crying. The other guy just left. This happens in real life.
It does.
Just broke up with your boyfriend. I play this friend role.
Yeah.
Me, still looking for love. And then she says to him, do you want to, before we do it, you know, go this route, do you want to? No, I don't. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
After the fact, did you pick her? No, I didn't pick her.
That's wild. Yeah.
Come on now.
That was wild. That was wild. Okay, we're gonna Vince is older than Nicole. Vince is older than Nicole. He's in his early 40s, and I mean, not a lot older. He's in his early 40s, and she's in her late 30s. Okay, let's start. I'm gonna ask you to start with and we're just talking about the whole season. Your take as a man, the lessons that ladies need to, what you observed from the way they moved, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with Sir Darius.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna start saying this. There is on the corner, on the sidewalk, there is a pile of doo-doo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plain day. There's flies around it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then there is a pile of doo-doo in a grocery bag, plastic bag, tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of neat, you know. It's not on the ground. It's not smelling. They locked it up. Then there's another pile of doo-doo in a box with a bow on it.
Mm.
Probably smell the perfume around it. Nice, beautiful box.
Mm-hmm.
There's a representation of all these men. Now we go to the first pile of doo-doo that's on the sidewalk. It's visible. We know what it is. He see it. He flies. He dressed fly, according to Detroit.
Right.
That guy.
Right.
It's visible. Everyone knows what it is. The sensible people are walking around it because they see the doo-doo. Some people not paying attention step in the doo-doo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Darius wears what he is, if your eyes are open, openly. He's not hiding it. I mean, he's hiding it with words and his street vernacular or what he thinks is fly vernacular, but you see it if your eyes are open. That's my thing of Darius. He's wearing what it is, but let's be real. Other than saying this thing, what did he do? This man brought flowers.
Mm-hmm.
This man brought different type of taxidermy fur.
Yeah. Or
he loaned people Lincolns.
He the stinking Lincoln. He did. He did.
So far, technically, what did he do wrong?
Well, what we
other than spit game, and we all know it was game. But
right, but that's okay. But I feel like we are judging him on things that did not happen out of the edit.
Thank you. That, and then obviously we know there was a woman that called in and made a bunch of claims. Yeah. So we're all on that, right? But bottom line, and I'm not saying he hasn't done anything. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm just saying action.
Right.
His actions have been, you know, he cooked breakfast for everybody. The breakfast looked delicious.
It did. It did look delicious.
Breakfast looked delicious.
Yeah.
So the thing that was the most visible had the less action to me. He was going to mess up. He was going to trick on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's my sum of him, man. We were going to see it. He's not an innocent guy. We were going to, trust me, we were going to see it. Just give me 2 more weeks. We would have saw it. He would have slipped up. All players do.
Yeah.
You know, but if your eyes are open, you see it. And
let me ask you this. Speaking of that, I agree with you that we Darius, we were expecting the drama to come from him, and it did not. And so we want to be honest with if according to the edit, see, it's unfair that we have ex-girlfriends. We have some of his past that came into his present, right? That was the way the cookie crumbled. But that other people that's not necessarily true, because I have had people reach out to me from other people's past as well. But they weren't open to, coming on camera and saying everything. So if you just go by the edit, we didn't really see.
Right.
Let me ask you this though. What do you feel about his, let me ask about the situation with, we'll get into the fake family, but the situation with him and Shannon, when Shannon, he was telling her that he dated a girl that his last girlfriend was a stripper and all. Like, what do you think that was? What was the energy with that? What was the point of that, in your opinion?
I think it would have been for him. A lot of times, it would have been impressive or to a square. For real, intriguing, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is that like feeling the girl out to see if she gonna be?
Yeah, but some women, wow, this is a whole nother world, and tell me more. You really, it could seem dangerous or whatever. I don't know. Whatever that is. But it backfired.
It backfired.
All his game didn't work. I'm not saying he didn't have off moments. I'm just saying, and this was one of them. And the family, obviously, which came out later.
Right.
On camera. On camera, this kind of blew up in his face, pardon me.
Mm-hmm.
And he fell back.
What did you think about the conversation with him and Vince? And I was actually surprised that he held his cool as much as he did in that conversation on the finale, with him telling Vince that he needed to shut up and he talked too much.
Right. It's tricky because I just feel like, from his standpoint, from his position, it did seem like it was going to go a direction and the cat was going to be let out the bag. And he didn't want that. And I'm talking about Darius.
Yeah.
The cat was going to be let out the bag. But he had a couple cats to let out too. And he did let one out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
he said that 3 girls told him that Vince was jealous of him. What do you think about that?
It's possible. I don't know those conversations, but if it was a situation where you kept talking about me, why are you talking about me to 3 other women, to 3 different women? And and according to Darius, the bringing women to flowers or whatever, some guys might feel a way about that. They didn't bring, why is he doing that? I don't know that, this was all here, this wasn't proven, but he did that. That's what he said. And he said, I heard you talking about me too. Now, he could have brought it up in the men's meeting, but he only brought it up in defending himself and hearing that he was talked about. So he just said the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think other than that, he would have never brought that up.
Yeah.
He would have never brought that. He already knew, and he didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's the name said? Well, once that came out, then he was like, I heard you were talking about me as well. So it was said childish, like, how it goes. It's gonna be pillow talk, when you get comfortable with the ladies, and dudes are comparing themselves to the other guy. It's still a competition in a sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't a competition with anyone you was interested in. So why do you feel that way? But I think the women did like Vince to a certain degree, and he called, and I think he did what a lot of dudes do. He played the brother cool role until he find out the one that was going to gravitate to him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he finds out one is going to get eliminated, well, that's one less girl that's probably going to talk to the rest of the ladies. So he thought.
Right.
She's out, so I could, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Do you think, and I know we talked about this before, but it was just interesting to me that Ashley would go to Vince for comfort, but then she also looked to be playing both sides with him and Darius. And in situations, don't get women do play both sides of the you know, of the equator, so of the occasion. So what do you think about that? Do you think that Vince was talking to her because you know, do you think there was competition between, I guess you're saying there's competition between them two?
I think so. I mean, I think it was one way. I think all men are sizing each other up in this situation, right?
Yeah.
You know, I would think you would just let the best man win. But once you start opening your mouth to the women about the guys, that's when it starts to become dangerous territory, because at any moment it could come out, and obviously it did from both sides.
Is Darius guilty of any dirty macking that we can see?
If what Vince said was right, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to remember, what did he say against Vince?
He didn't really say anything. Vince said it afterwards. He said that he heard that Vince was jealous of him.
Right.
And Vince was basically taking up for Ashley when Darius said the part about, you know, a 40-year-old wouldn't have said no stupid shit like that.
And that's what I mean. It's like, okay, was she one of what's the name's interests? Vince?
See, at this point, we don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying.
We don't know who is who's interested.
That's what I'm saying. At least on camera, I didn't see that, right? But he was the shoulder to cry. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm talking to 3 women in front of me, all 3, I approach, hey, ladies, how you doing? Introduce myself around the drinks. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm being cool with all 3 women, and I'm waiting to see who gravitates towards me. They start talking, one slips up, or one mentions she got a husband, cancel her out. I start talking to the other 2 ladies. I wait to see before I jump to one, because the one I might jump to might have a situation. So whoever to me, whether she have a situation or not, she gravitated to me. I think that's the game he might have been playing. I don't know if he was playing that game, but I do know that game too. So you
trying to see if she was cool with it, if she was interested in him.
Whoever gravitates you. That's the less work. You see what it is, and then you step up. You don't want to step up too much to a chick that already might be interested in him.
Yeah.
But if you're listening, being attentive, you start to show qualities of a good man to a woman that's interested in another man. But if you can prove your qualities without trying to holler at her are better than him, she might swing your way.
Right. That's what I'm like. And then enters the dirty Mac, because now you're throwing a little shade.
There you go. So if I'm sitting over there and I'm just listening, I'm being tender. What? He did what? Get out of here. You don't say. I would never do that. Wow. You know, and just doing little stuff to
egg on the conversation.
Hey, why else would he be talking to her about him? Why would she be talking? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what they say, right, about Vince? They go into other rooms.
Vince, yeah. They try to vent too. I never heard that.
So you got to be careful when you vent, because they go into other rooms.
That is definitely true. I don't think there's any safe place. I don't know why people come in, especially the guys, and think that the men's lounge is a safe space. Because I've never been on a reality dating show, but what I do know is that men talk more than women to women. I mean, a man will definitely tell you what his boy is doing. Like, men are the biggest talkers.
But you know, that's the biggest deflection too, right?
What do you mean?
If I point out how this guy is, then the assumption is I'm not like that.
That would be the assumption.
Right. It's not always the case. If someone say, hey man, somebody stole such and such. Well, automatically I'm limited out. I take myself out of it or you take me out of it, because how could I be a thief? I'm mentioning it.
Yeah.
But
I do have a friend that said that the guy she was dating, another guy came to her and told her that her guy was cheating, and he was confirming, he was giving her, and so she ended up breaking up with that guy and getting with the other guy, and then he ended up cheating. She said she was so hurt because she thought that he would never do that because of the fact that he was telling her about the other guy.
The oldest game in the book, and that's what a lot of these dudes do. So when you see him, to me, when you see Vince out of impressing Darius, well, you didn't have to date all 10, you ain't have to date all 3 after the fact. You see what I'm saying? He pointed out about Darius the same thing he was doing.
Yeah.
And Darius followed the rules. It wasn't date. We're supposed to all try to get to know or go on a date with all 10 of the women. That's the game.
Yeah.
So to crucify or to put him out there and say, well, you didn't have to do it. You see what I'm saying? That's all.
That did get me, because when I was like, now wait a minute. He said, well, you didn't have to try to date all of them. I mean, that's not what it was. And it was almost with a slight condescending air.
This is what I'm saying.
And then this Negro, after the reunion, turned around and exhibited the exact same behavior, if not worse. Even that Darius was dating 3 people after the reunion.
And then even told somebody he didn't pick the person he picked.
That was diabolical. But before we get all the way, we don't want to get all the way into Vince. Let's move, because we're talking about Darius. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how toxic would you rate Darius in this, what we've seen thus far?
Mid, and the reason why I say mid is because he was going there. We just didn't see it. he was going, and be honest with you, it would have been super embarrassing because it would have been on tape, on camera.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been on camera. We just needed 1 or 2 more episodes. He was going to fall. I let him off the hook. He's just a slick dude, and they didn't really get him like that, but he was going.
Yeah. I actually want to say, because before we get off of Darius, we gave him a hard time this season, and but that's because he gave us a lot of ammunition. But he's actually a very good-looking guy. He's a very handsome man. I think that he would be. A lot of women, a lot of us have talked about the ink and the dye, but I mean, obviously there's a audience for it. But I think raw materials, he's an attractive guy. And I think he definitely knows how. I don't doubt that he's able to do the things that he's doing, with women there. And I know women are always, it's crazy to me that women are always saying like, oh, I don't get it about this guy, but yet these dudes always have a lot of women. And I'm sure there are women in the Facebook chat. I am okay. I'm that's not my type, but I'm not saying he's not an attractive guy. He's not an ugly dude. But there are a lot of women that like it. So let's don't fool ourselves.
This dude's in jail that got 4 or 5 women.
Facts.
In the free world.
Facts. That will fight over them. And so I mean,
and it's all, and they can't do nothing but talk. So
that's so deep. That is so deep. The fact that dudes that haven't been out of jail for 10 years can still have women in the free world fighting.
And this is how powerful the game is. That's why they tell you, man, the pimp's thing is, if he can get you to listen, he halfway got you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna move off of Darius. And we're going to move on to Bello.
Now, this is the doo-doo that's in the plastic bag, tied up. Can't smell it, but it's tied up. Yeah.
Let's get into Darius. Darius,
Bello.
Bello, very well spoken.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always had a a thoughtful answer, you know, with a woman that whatever topic you bring up, he can definitely, you know, give you the answer or talk to you on that level. He's a conversationalist. I think most of the women were very attracted to Bello. If not, I don't know if it, you know, if not necessarily his looks, which he's not, he's definitely an attractive man, but also I think it was also his conversation and the fact of how he presented himself.
Absolutely. Talks with an even tone, very confident. He doesn't rush his conversation. You know, when I'm about to say this word, I don't mean in the stereotypical, the stereotype word with his nationality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying scammer is, you know, of the heart, of the he's just running game. He's going to scan you out of your drawers. And you're gonna believe him. And why wouldn't you believe him?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's this thing about tone and making women feel comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff is rehearsed. It feels that way. The car salesman, if you know anyone that sells cars in that business, there's a script.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn the script to the point you get super, super comfortable and you start to add your own things to it. And he processes very, very quickly. And he's never going to seem like he doesn't know or he panics. You know, he takes his time. He repeats the question.
Mm-hmm.
And he pause. Always pause, fellas. Pause. Don't rush. And he does that. And he does that very, very well. And I just think that he got in a situation, it feels like
Mm-hmm.
he got in over his head. And I don't know if he could have did anything different once he put 2 feet in. He was going to hurt her. What I would say was hurt her fast and hurt her quick, like soon. And make it uncomfortable quick. Do not wait. And I think he waited too long. It feels to me like someone else was coming in and he had to dump her, pardon.
Well, we did hear Dominique say that he had a girlfriend. We do know that he is married. We also know that he was married in his Nigerian garb, and that he is a practicing Muslim. And that was something that we all felt like he was not necessarily being honest about with his conversation with Ashante and with Dominique. And we also know that a lot of people had a problem with the fact that a lot of people said that Dominique and the other ladies should have known by the way he talked about having a one-night stand. Now, you didn't necessarily agree with that.
No. Because he had a one-night stand and y'all thought he was no good after that? Was that it?
Well, having a baby with a one-night stand, it seems a little bit irresponsible. Maybe? No?
It's more common than you think. It's more common than you think. They got pills for this reason.
They do have pills for that. Yeah.
They got, because it happens more times, especially in Miami. More times than you. I could tell you stuff about guys, even stuff that I hear and dudes amongst men. That's what I'm saying. Like, to hear that conversation and hear how he's acting amongst men, that's regular. Damn.
Okay.
I heard stuff and be like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, Mo, I hit raw. First time, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But is that normal? Is that, I mean, so that's normal for you people?
No, it's not uncommon. I'll just say that. I'm not saying it's normal. It's not uncommon to hear. If it's 10 dudes lined up and 3 of them told me that, yeah, that'd be normal.
Do you think that, were you at all alarmed by the fact that he didn't really that didn't seem to be a priority, at least from the edit that we saw.
I put it to you this way. I don't know how much control he had on if he even wanted that situation to happen.
Right.
I'm trying to make sure I word this very carefully. You know what I'm saying? He might have had discussions on not moving further on with that situation, and somebody else had something else. And this is a man that didn't, but now it's here and he's dealing with it. But maybe it wasn't something, and that's just on him because he was unprotected or popped or whatever it was. It takes two people. Now, if it was the other way around, and let's just say, and I don't know if this is the situation, I'm just saying, and she did not want said child or whatever, and he would have did things to take care of that, whether he agreed or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's her choice. He doesn't have that choice. And he might have to deal with that. And maybe that's something he felt uncomfortable with, but he's working through it. Give the man some time, let him bond with the child. He might be in another space later. I understand people's energy towards him. I'm just saying, like, give the man some time. You know, because it sounds like he hadn't seen the child much in 1 year.
It did. He said, I think he said 3 times. People were really upset about that. I'm reading the chat. Y'all are hilarious about the ancestral. There were a lot of words that were not in the dictionary or in the dictionary or Google or the Urban Dictionary. Just new words that are unique to the cast of Ready to Love Detroit. But let's talk a little bit more about Bello's approach, because even though Dominique was the one he chose, and I feel like we all knew that he was going to choose her, he kept everybody. It was interesting to see how he managed everybody. Like, he didn't Lauren, he kind of got turned off by Lauren trying to back him in a corner when she tried to get him to tell her where she was in the situation. Ashante never did that, and he stayed very open with her, but I didn't feel like there was a real, like, romantic connection. But he seemed to kind of play. He didn't seem to have any enemies. It seemed like everybody on the cast liked Bello. We liked him when he came here. He just seems very likable and very he knows how to be very diplomatic, is what I'm trying to say.
There you go. Yeah, man, he seems like a likable guy. Hey, man, he knows what to say, and he doesn't say too much. But at the same time, the woman that presses in that trifecta or whatever situations, that's the first one eliminated. Because I want to
same in an outdoor, in real life situation.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Would that have the same effect in a real life situation? If you press, you go?
Yep. But I mean, you don't know. I mean, in this situation you do, but let's say all 3 of the women. But I you be in situations, and if women are aware of each other, someone's going to press. And that's usually the one that's going to go first.
Jesus.
Because I just want to be out, have a good time. I don't want to waste my time talking about her. What are we at? Let's just live in the moment. Well, where are we? What are we doing? What is going on with us? What? Let's have a good time. Let's drinks and let's eat and be merry. I don't know. Right now.
So, do you think he genuinely was into Dominique, just from what we've seen? Now, we know that scene probably has a little bit more to play out, but not much. But we do know that she said he had a girlfriend. He seemed like he was all into Dominique, but I will say they do seem like they are from very different worlds.
I think he presents himself, and a lot do, to be from that world. He's familiar with it.
Yeah.
I do think also that if he would have got the same thing as Vince, he would have been in the same situation. Same situation.
Do you think he would have done the same thing as Vince?
Low key, yeah. You with Lauren, at least Lauren, yes. If she didn't press, heck yes. After the show, if she got limit, once she got let, yeah, heck yes, yes. Shit, I would have did it too. Anyway, but I'm just saying, yes, he would have did it.
Okay. Anything about Dominique's allegation that he was acting like he had it and he didn't have it, and she would have been there to support him, but he didn't really have it like he wanted to have it? Any thoughts on that?
I don't believe her.
You don't believe her?
I believe if he ain't have it, nice to know you, buddy. We could be cool, but she's not. I would have been there for him now.
Yeah.
She would have saved them on the reunion. You know what I mean? She would have attempted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But she would have nah.
Yeah.
Now it sounds good. Of course she's gonna say that. You want to be a noble, good one, and I would have done it. You're supposed to say that. I don't think you would actually do it.
Yeah. Do you think he picked the right girl?
Do I think he picked the
Or why do you think he picked? Well, I guess you said because Lauren pushed. She's the one that's why.
I think he shouldn't have known this situation. I think maybe, I don't know, maybe him and this girls was on the outs and he was trying to work it out. Or I think a lot of these situations where you hear old people come back or people have situations, I think that it's like break babies. Go into this situation and it's on the break and then they sign to see where it goes. But then, I think we've seen Chaz do that. We've seen a lot of people do this.
Yes.
Because the way it was abrupt, the way it happened, the day before Christmas Eve, I want to say, or 2 days before, something like that.
2 days, 2 days before Christmas, they were in the bed, and then he said, now you heard what he said. I'm interested. I wanted you to break down this because that was interesting to me because I hear women are upset with the responses, and I don't know that we would ever. I'll be honest, as a woman, I don't really know any explanation a man could give me as a woman that would make me be okay with why he broke up with me.
Right.
I mean, I just, that's not really a.
There's nothing he could have. There's no way you could have put it that made it any sweeter, better, easier to swallow. It's so close to Christmas. She probably already got him something. Now she knows she ain't getting nothing.
Do you think he did it there because he didn't want to have to buy a Christmas gift?
I think his lady was coming home for Christmas.
Even more important. Yeah.
Anytime a dude and it's abrupt, something else is coming fast. A train is coming. A train is coming. Anytime it's like that, think about it. It's the holidays. Somebody is coming in town. She's staying at my house.
He's Muslim, so he doesn't celebrate Christmas, but
the person might. Well, I don't know if the lady does, but it's the holiday. She's coming around this time. Maybe she's off from her job, unless she has a Muslim career. I don't know. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, maybe not Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't know. But maybe
she's celebrating Kwanzaa. Yeah, maybe because I think that people, period, are just like, maybe she's. I don't know, but I didn't think about that. Yeah. So that's good to know, ladies. Anytime there's an abrupt change, a train is a coming.
There's a train coming. And you know when that train normally happens? During the holidays. Pick one. If a guy got something, especially Valentine's coming up, you'll see people disappear. It's abrupt. It's like, it's a fake argument. 2 weeks going in, it blows up over nothing.
Oh, we've seen it all. We've seen the blow-ups. The gaslighting is what it is now. It's gaslighting because all of a sudden you're just angry. Why are you angry? This is not a big deal. You're just irritated.
How to get, because this girl done told him her flight land. And sitting up there, you like, what am I going to tell her that I'm doing this weekend? Because she might do a drive-by at my spot. And then you bite the bullet. You either break up with her or you dodge. I know a guy that got a hotel room and didn't stay. The woman came in and didn't stay at his place because he was afraid of a drive-by. So
let's go stay at a hotel. I just really want us to spend time at a hotel.
Yeah, he was like, he told her he was going to a staycation. She was like, but it's a vacation for me because I came to see you. Now you want to go somewhere else in the same town. She bought it.
Jesus Christ. Why do you think he went that far with Dominique? Because I would assume because Dominique was all the way in, like she's the only woman. Well, I guess Cardi and Devon felt like they were a connection with her, but she said that Bello was her number one from the beginning. There was never any competition. Why do you think and then also meeting the children, why do you think he went that far?
That's foul ball right there. I don't know, maybe he was trying to figure things out in his situation or a situation on the side. And he maybe, a lot of times as men, we do come in with good intentions, but we didn't clean up the mess behind us. You know what I mean? And now feelings start to come up, because a lot of times you can like a woman, and as soon as you start liking a woman, you start questioning. Because you got to be responsible now, and you got to be accountable now. Yeah. And then you start second guessing and thinking about everything. It's all fun and enjoy it, but once you be like, yeah, she's like, I'm with it, then you start thinking. Be like,
what exactly is she with? what?
No. You start thinking you got to show up.
Okay.
You got to show up. You got to answer them calls. You got to really, really be present. With a relationship comes responsibility and accountability. And it might be more than the situation you had. And you might have realized you bit off more than you could. It's all funny games when we kicking it and getting to know each other and fun. And I can miss a day without calling you. Nobody's tripping. When once we lock in, we locked in, supposedly.
Hey,
and
babe.
Huh?
My baby is checking in. He's checking in. Babe, I'm so glad that you don't play any of these games like the ones that we're talking about with these gentlemen. I'm so glad.
You got a good guy.
I do. But I told y'all, he did tell me he played some games. No, he said he ran a little game on me. But it wasn't for bad.
Right.
I hope not. But yeah, I just never understand why do men go to that extent. Like, why meet her kids? And if you did like her, like, you got to know that this is going to end bad. I would tell you.
Yes.
I would be like, this is going to be like a Lifetime movie. I would tell. Now, you didn't have any that really blew up but I had another friend. I'd be like,
came close.
This is going to be a Lifetime movie special. Keep on. And he'd be like, nah. And sure enough, it would, but I'd be like, why are you still just like, it's almost like there'll be like a stall. I'm like, it's coming. It's coming. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that.
Because
it's not.
It feels good. When it feels good and everything going, you think you can keep that going, and it doesn't, like, it sucks, but it's true. And like now, being older, I can see things and know not to go down that road. But once it's good, you think you can ride good forever. And it doesn't work that way. You can't outrun it. You think you can. And but it's tough, man. But I just think with the kids being involved and the parents and him doing that, it sounded like the brother got on the show or at some point he was on the fence and he rode the fence way too longer than he should have. But I think he knew what was going on, and maybe he just rolled the dice. Maybe he wanted to hit. Maybe he wanted to win the show, to be at the top. I think they all do.
Let me ask you this, because I feel like with Dominique, there was another play and involved, and I think when a lot of people knew her past, knew the men that she had been involved with in the past. What do you think about that? Because I know there are some guys that would be intimidated I would assume the way Vince talked about the tattoos on the neck, he wouldn't want to deal with a woman that had that connection, right? I know a lot of men would be intimidated, and then others may see that as a challenge.
The notch on the belt. To some dudes, the woman is the trophy, right? In a sense. It's especially if she used to date such and such. Now we dudes feel like we're maybe not the money, but I had what he had, and I had less money. That's more impressive. Man,
I have heard guys say that.
You had to have the millions and status. I didn't have none of that, and I hit it too.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, if we go on that route, that's the notch on the belt. You did all that for that. I did all this, and I showed up with wings. Matter of fact, your lady cooked for me.
I have heard that. Yeah, I'm not disappointed. I'm just wondering, because in this situation, I pretty much knew that was going to go that way, because I didn't think Dominique was really into him, but then I guess it kind of depended on how well he played the game, right? Because I think Dominique is a type that is definitely going to be cool with a man that is open to providing, right? I think providing is probably one of her top. That's probably her top motivator, right? You being able to provide, and that's not bad. That's a basic, that's a basic husband quality. But I didn't think that he would be able to. I really didn't think Bello was going to be able to move the way she moves, because she moves on a different circle.
You start seeing them type of women, and they be like, "We should do this. We should do that." You know what men are doing? Some men, especially me, because I ain't got no bread like that. I'm sitting up there. I'm adding on.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've noticed the guys will definitely will add up
the numbers and going online. What the carry the two? What the?
Hey. I figured that out, because I remember when I would date guys and I would tell them I had a horse. They were saying, the words of Tom Cruise, show me the money. Well, what happens is you're going to figure out if you got it or not. I remember guys would be like, you have a horse? That sounds like a lot of overhead. And I'm like, who says that? Like, I wouldn't think that, but that's a man that's calculating.
Because we see all that and we be like, I got to keep that up, or I got to participate in that. And then you say, well, just like you said, well, dang, I don't get paid till the two say to you.
Yeah. Blessed assurance.
But here's the thing. You weed out the dudes you want. You start seeing women posting all these exotic vacations. This chick had a giraffe in her hotel room with his head sticking and feeding them bananas or whatever the fuck. You be like, who gonna pay for that?
That's rough. That is rough. That is rough. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough. If you're not able, it's got to feel. But when you just get out, just get out.
Nah, but what I found out, you talk to some of them women, a lot of this stuff is discounted or somebody else. She can't afford that neither.
She can't afford it. No, but she cannot afford it. However, she will find a man that will. That's
what I'm saying. But there's also a guy that can just take her to the motel down the street, and he do it's a dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's true. That is true too. Well, really, what happens? Can I tell you know what really happens? You could get a girl on a discount if she's in revenge mode, and she's sad. And that's why we have to, as women, we have to know better. But I'm saying, y'all, I know, because I had a lot of friends that were guys, and when the girl is sad, all of a sudden she starts making bad decisions.
Nicole, this is my point. And he called her right when the set. Come on now.
Oh, and you know what? It's not even so much sad, it's rejected.
Come on now.
When you're feeling rejected,
come on now.
You will give some charity, cookies, The cookies, resize your hand. The cookies go on discount, and ladies, we have to stop that. But I've seen so many women get angry, and yes, but I'm telling you, rejection is worse than loneliness. That feeling rejected is a lot of times it can connect back to some type of childhood trauma.
And then when you're the guy and you see that, you gotta strike quick before a girlfriend come in there and talk her out of it and build up her self-esteem again. God damn it. I'm gonna catch her right after it happened, the camera go away. I'm calling her right now.
Thank you, DC. So are you saying, I mean, I see you just gonna say, so you're gonna say that are you suggesting that Nicole was sad about the fact that Ed was not interested?
Mm-hmm.
And that made her be open to Vince.
Yep, she wants to walk away. She might not be a winner on camera, but damn it, I'm going to get something, consolation prize or whatever it's called. Yes, that's what I think. I think he knew she would be vulnerable. If not, then he's dumb. And I know he's not dumb. He knew exactly what that was. This man's 40-something years old. He know that.
And he's been married before.
You supposed to leave that woman alone and let her heal or whatever. You went right in. You didn't even let the tears dry.
I started saying, y'all don't do the bargain basement. Don't do the bargain basement. It don't put a for. I mean, sometimes it's 2 for 1. I mean,
but here's the thing. I will tell guys this. Even when we're talking about the money aspect of it, let me tell you something. The more she like you, the more of a discount it is. You won't have to pay. But if she like you, it's more of a discount. I'm telling you. The dudes that got to pay through the nose, she don't really like this. It's not discount.
That is true.
I'm just putting that.
That is true. But, you know, I do think that, and I do feel like Nicole, I'm going to tell you, like I told you, a guy that goes on a show like that, their game is weak.
See? And it's see-through. We get like the men see right through. That's why I'm just like.
I let Gumball see that video of Dominique talking about, you stand on business about me and the way you did me, I don't F with it. He was like, she's standing on business. She's standing on business.
Yo, I
said, you believe her? He said, yep.
I'm telling you. I'm on the hey, I believe her.
Because y'all know what it is. Let me ask you something. How do y'all feel? Like if you've ever been in a situation where you got caught up, right? How does that feel in that moment? Because I think that Bello handled it, you know.
He handled it like Bello, like he did everything else. He was calm. He was even kill. He didn't do. I'm telling you, that's him. That's his character. He knows what it is. And that's what they like about him.
Until it comes out that it's not anything. It's like the Wizard of Oz. The mystery, women do like mystery, right? And then sometimes you can get a peek behind the curtain and there's a little man and it's like, well, this isn't what I thought. And you're not, and it's disappointing. And I think that the quicker you see behind the mystery, sometimes the more disappointed you are, because I feel like, yes, the emperor has no clothes. You get back there and it's like, oh, this was smoke and mirrors.
And here's the thing. We're judging these people because we saw what was behind the curtain. And we're mad at them because they didn't see. They didn't know. Some people don't have enough, not age experience, life experience to catch certain things. This is why we're here.
Now, Dominique does have more life experience than Nicole.
Even the best, you can get caught up. When you actually like someone, you can trip fall. That's why they say fall in love. It can happen. I'm in love. I just think she fell in like.
I think that things must have been going her way. Because I feel like she is smarter than, but you know what I really respect about Dominique? It takes a really advanced person to be smarter and know more, but not need to show it. Only a fool has to show all the cards in his hand, right? I could tell that she knows game. You could tell by the way she moves, but she didn't need everybody to know that she knew it. So even in that scene, she didn't really put him out there like she could have. She didn't really put him. I think she could have exposed more. Well, I think he held back.
I don't think he pushed.
Like, he did not push.
I think had he said, no, it wasn't like this and da, she would have let him have it. But he didn't. He took it. He had his head down. You know, he listened and he just, that's what you got.
I'm not saying smart, book smart. Y'all know it's two different types. Street smart, book smart, two different things. Ancestral and what is she? She said not book smart, but life smart. I know how to get in a dude's head. I know how to get what I need. I'm not ever going to end up without those life skills. I don't think necessarily that Nicole has that skill set. Shannon probably doesn't have that skill set. I don't know about Lauren. Probably.
Lauren, I think she has a little bit. She might be the one that has a little bit of it all. But
maybe a little bit of everything.
But I think not being. I don't know. It's tough because the first thing that comes to my mind in her situation is all of them. Like, think about it. Those three ladies, Lauren, Shannon, and Nicole, all got, you're not ready to love. But they all wind up, well, outside of Shannon, pardon me. But the other two wind up getting someone after the fact, getting a phone call.
Well, I think probably everybody. We know that's it. They're for everybody. We know that men are always going to double back.
Thank you, and that's all I'm saying. But they're blaming it on she should have known. She should have known. Like,
yeah, I don't think that, but I do think that
now they do.
Now, well, and then sometimes somebody can know and not care. Like I saw Lauren explaining and the situation, and I feel like, what I feel like? I feel like with Lauren, I do feel like it was her I think it's ego. Like, it's ego that gets to you. Like, and I also think I do also think Lauren is one of them type of chicks that she gets along with guys. So, because if you notice in the ladies' lounge, when that situation came up about Vince calling her the tall B, she was the first one that said, well, did he actually say that? Because I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like she's the type of chick that's really going to be more friendly with the guys than the girls.
I think that was her second option. She liked them. And that's the reason why she get the consolation prize once again.
Woo.
The reason why, to me, it feels like after the fact that happened, the way it happened.
I just don't understand. Like, that's just, I just, maybe she did really like him, because I'm like,
she stood up for him then halfway. Well, I give him the doubt. She didn't follow. That don't sound like y'all girl's girl or lady. What y'all say? A girl's girl. It would have just listened and not, you would have got kicked out the club for that. I thought.
I don't think she wants to be in the club. I don't think she wants to be in the club. I think that did she play basketball? Or no, she was at the basketball court. I think maybe her sons play basketball, but maybe she played too, because she's tall. I mean, I just assume that tall, play basketball and or model sometimes simultaneously, and I think that sometimes gives them and then sometimes girls can see, like, they may feel like other girls are kind of like, well, she's a little bit more mature because she has children. So Lauren and Dominique are more mature than the other ladies on the show, because they're a little bit, even if you're the same age, but if you've been in a relationship for 11 years and you have children, you're going to be a little bit more mature in certain ways than a Nicole or a Shannon or
But let me ask you, the Cole situation, or even the Dominique situation, and you have kids, especially daughters, in Dominique's situation. But are you going to get on TV and play with a relate? Are you going to be for real? Your daughter, your kids are watching. I just want people to think about that for a second.
The only thing I don't know, and the reason I say I don't know is because she was on Basketball Wives. So I feel like most of those women on those shows play in relationships. Like, I feel like it's almost like a part of it, right? It's just kind of like an understood thing. I don't know, but I do know some situations where some relationships are like, for instance, we're seeing this now play out with Married to Medicine. Quad and the dude is like, I got out of that. And it's very clear. I think it was clear to most people that wasn't a real, genuine, born and real connection relationship. It's like, I need a storyline. This is a good look for me. I'm trying to do this. I need to make it look a certain way for that. And you can fit that bill, but nobody believed it. So I do think people play in, relationships.
I would give on camera like that. If I had to choose which one would do that, I don't know if any of them did that. I would say Lauren was more for real in that aspect than Dominique then, because Dominique's been on these shows, right?
Yeah.
And then in her position, I don't know. I mean, remember she said she's been in rough stuff. She's on survival mode. She's trying to stay visible.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Lauren really took any of the guys serious. What we heard, I don't know if it's true, but it was said that she said she wasn't really into any of the guys. They weren't. So I don't know. She could have just been like, it's a good look. I know she's like a socialite. So, okay. F the Narc said, Ed said on their podcast that Nicole used to talk to a few of his friends and vice versa. Can I say what I think, y'all? I think that Ed and Nicole got something going on. I think so.
Go deeper.
Well, I'm just saying, and you know me, I talk a lot, but I also observe a lot.
You got big eyes. You do that a lot.
I do. I have big eyes, and they take in a lot. And I've been over to their podcast. I've watched their interactions, and their interactions.
Who's in that?
Ed and Lauren.
Oh, Ed and Lauren. Okay, I thought you said Nicole. My bad.
No. I don't think that Ed was into Nicole.
I don't get that. I've seen it.
I'm gonna tell you why. I got a theory. My theory is, like, sometimes the package can look good, but you know the person, and then you're like, I see that. Like, and with men, if you are easily emotional and too, like, inexperienced and emotional, that's usually like something that they don't want to deal with. Like, I know that she is a lot. I don't want to deal with that. I feel like when she was talking about Vince and she was doing all this, I feel like Ed knew that was up under there.
Well, maybe he likes her, but I don't know if
He's not attracted to her. Like, I'm not saying physically. I don't think he's attracted to her emotionally. I feel like he knows her personality, and that's why he doesn't want to.
Okay.
But I feel like when I watch the podcast with Ed and Lauren, I feel like they are attempting to suppress or fake us out on the fact that they were some type of a connection. There's a lot of stuff that she says I don't think he agrees with. He does a good job of kind of holding his tongue.
He's very
he lets her kind of do her thing, and she's very opinionated, and he just kind of like, he'll start something and you can see he don't agree, but he'll just pull back, right? That's the pullback of a man that doesn't want to rock the boat. Not one that necessarily agrees with the situation. But I think,
it's her show.
Right. I'm saying I think he enjoys being around her. I think that they either have hooked up or they like each other. I don't think that that's
I think he get more women being around her and access on that show, and that's a good look for him. That's what I think.
Well, two things can be true, but I definitely think he likes her. Now, does he like what comes with her and being around all this stuff? Yes.
Okay.
But I also saw that Lauren and I believe that I saw Lauren and Darius did a event together, right? So they're friends as well. I don't know if I can't see, I don't know that she would date Darius, but I think that Lauren is friends with the guys. And I think that a lot of the guys like her, of course. But I definitely think that Ed liked Lauren.
Ed, like, okay. I don't see it.
I don't know if he's tall enough for her long term.
He's definitely not.
Yeah, I don't think he's tall enough for her. But I do think that there was some chemistry. Sometimes if you kind of like each other and you flirt around a little bit, that's good, healthy. It's guys like being around women they're attracted to. So I feel like he likes her. Do I think he's like, pressed and all that? Hell no. But I definitely think there's more to it than them just hosting the podcast together.
Gotcha.
I ain't fooled. I see some type of energy.
I don't see it, but okay.
I see it. Who else? So okay, so let's just go to let's talk about one of the things that really bothered me about the first part of the reunion. It was when, and that's a blurry picture, but that's Vince and Nicole. Nicole is hugged up with him like that is her high school boyfriend, and they're taking a homecoming picture. And he's obliging. What I didn't like is when he kept saying that it was messy. He was like, "That's so messy. That's messy." And all she was doing was answering the truth. He was saying it was messy. He didn't want her to do that. That bothered me.
Did you see? We talked about watching him and his brothers watching the clip.
Yes, I did.
They talked about that. And they were using messy because he didn't want to use the word lie and call her a liar. So in place of the word liar, they say it's messy, or that's a lie, it's messy. I'm putting that out there, and I heard that myself. So he's saying messy, insert lie. Yeah, I'm saying it. I don't know.
So what he would be suggesting is that, because I heard his timeline.
But I'm here to tell you it's all bullshit. But I'm here to tell you it's bullshit, but that's the cover up. Yeah.
That's what we want to get into, the BS of it all.
Yeah.
Tasha said, "Crystal, you've been wrong a lot this season, though." What about have I been wrong about? Call me out, Tasha. And I said, and I will say when I'm wrong, I'm cool with it. But I'm just wondering what you guys are saying.
Now we're to the doo-doo in the box.
We're in the doo-doo with the bow on the top.
With the bow, it's no flies, it smells good. And the moral of it all is when you open it up and get to it, it's all the same shit. It's just different.
Whether it's dressed like a Detroit pimp,
or
an African prince.
Yeah, it's not even about, like, I don't have an axe to grind with Vince. I'm just calling out bullshit.
Yeah. I don't think that she's lying. I don't. It just didn't look like a liar. She looked like shocked. You could tell when she didn't even want to say it. She didn't want to say it.
She could have said it when everybody else had just piled up on it when they first was talking about it.
Yeah. She didn't want to say it. Tommy said it's time to be truthful, and she just gonna be truthful. But let me ask you about Vince's timeline. He said, I mean, he laid out. He said that he and Donna left the experiment, but he stressed that he was not going to leave the process with the wrong understanding. And so he said that he talked to production and Donna about how he felt like he was leaving. So he left just saying they want to get to know each other more, not necessarily they were ready to love, right? So it's still, my process is my process. He has said that the whole time, right? But he said that he and Donna left, and then and then he said that once they were dating a couple of weeks, well, first he said that he and Donna went to go get something to eat right after. He said he was locked in, right? And then he said that Lauren was calling him during the dinner.
That part.
And then he said that he called Lauren back after he left the dinner. And I'm pretty sure Lauren knew that was the date that they did the finale, the finale. Lauren first of all, Lauren was talking to several other people. So we know that she knew, what was happening, right? And we also know that she was unhappy about the fact they sent her home. She felt like it was BS. And you could see that it was a little bit of bitterness, anger when he did that. You're not ready to love. She was like, this is BS. So of course she knew. So she was calling him, and he said that he called her back. He said she was calling the phone several times. And then he called her back, and then he said that she asked him to hang out. And he was like, okay, but then she asked him to go get drinks. And then he said, oh no, that would not be right, because Donna, I left the process with Donna and we're working it out. So, and we're trying to see where it goes. And he said Lauren was okay with that. He said he and Donna dated for a couple more weeks. And then Donna ran into Lauren. Now, this is the funny part about the story. He said that he knew, everybody knows that Donna goes to this coffee shop. He said that Lauren told him that she was going to the coffee shop. He said he didn't care. He said was I worried about it? No, because I didn't care. Then he said, but what were the odds? So those are two different things, right? So what were the odds? I don't care, and it ain't gonna happen, are two different things. So he said when I was not wrong about Bello trying to pay for the building. Y'all was not. He said that he was going to pay for.
We moved off Bello.
Okay, I'm just saying, they're saying I was wrong about stuff I wasn't wrong about. I will say what I was wrong about. But okay, so anyway, we got Vince and Donna. They're back, right? And then Lauren mysteriously runs in to Donna. There's a mystery meeting, like Cat Williams said, a mystery meeting at the coffee shop where Lauren just so happens to share with Donna that she has talked to Vince. And then Donna, according to Vince, Lauren calls him afterwards and says that Donna was making it seem like they were more involved than they were. Now, this is where
I believe that.
But this is where I see the problem, because that means that Lauren has all the information. Donna is the only one that does not. Because Lauren calls and says, hey, your girl is acting like y'all are, like, that is a bit messy, right? Am I, tell me when I'm wrong.
But that's part of the game. Like, for you to be the winner, like I said, it's about her not winning and wanting to win. You got to tell somebody. If it's not, you don't. You see what I'm saying?
She's trying to sow discourse. She was trying to go to, and really, like, honestly, this is the thing. The girl that knows, because if a man tells me, hey, Crystal, I call him, first of all, that's a little, I don't know that that's how it happened, but maybe it did. If Lauren really called him and asked him out, that's wild. Knowing that he sent her home, that's wild. Maybe she did. Lauren calls him and asks him out. He goes to hang out, but not for drinks. And then he says, Donna and I are trying to work on it. I can't do that. Why would Lauren then go and mention Vince to Donna at all. If anything, I'd be like, well, he told me that you guys are working. You know, why would you go and sow discourse?
It doesn't make sense.
It does not make sense. And then he said, but Vince acts like he's defending Donna. Why would he be defending? Why would you even say anything to Donna about me? Why? Because I told you that Donna and I were working on seeing what would happen. So then he says that, you know, he talked to Donna and she said something different. And then Donna was like, well, we just need to call it off completely. Then he says, then and only then did he call Lauren and start to go out with Lauren. He said this was, I mean, weeks apart, right? Then he says that something, you know, he and Lauren started to date. He didn't explain why they didn't make it, but he says weeks later, no, he said 3 months later, Nicole calls him out of the blue and asks him out. Now, he said this, according to Vince, all the women are coming after him. I don't know.
Why would the woman, because here's the part that doesn't make sense. After she was told she's not ready to love, he calls her. She didn't call him, according to her. She the same, as soon as it happens the same day while she's leaving her guests or getting her stuff or whatever. And then she says, do you want to finish the process? So you respect Donna enough to say decline meeting with what's the name, so you say, but actually that's not what happened. And then, but you don't respect her in the beginning before even Lauren was kicked off. I mean, you know, eliminated. You already told what's the name you want to see her. That's where it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he never addressed the fact that and I don't believe Nicole was lying about that. I don't believe Nicole was lying about it. Do I feel like Vince really was interested in Nicole? No. I think sometimes dudes just be trying to see what they could do, right? So let me know when I'm wrong. So him saying, can we hook up afterwards? I definitely could see him saying that to her. I also see Nicole being hurt because she actually tried to move to Devon, and that didn't work. And so, and she felt like Vince was the safe guy. Remember, her and Vince were skating together. They had a time. He was the safe guy, right? So we're not believing Lauren, but we're also not believing Vince. The truth is somewhere in the middle, because it doesn't make sense that Lauren didn't know. It doesn't make sense, according to Lauren, her and Vince were just friends. It wasn't like that. That doesn't make sense either, because if that's the case, why do you care what Donna thinks? Why do you have to go back and call? Vince said that Lauren called him immediately, almost like as soon as she exited the building, she called.
With someone in production, they told him what was going on. She made the call, tried to disturb the date. He said it was several calls. He did not answer until the date was over. She said, I'm going downtown for drinks. You should meet me. He said, I was already downtown. He told her that wouldn't be appropriate because I'm trying to do this thing with Donna.
So why would later them running into each other, why would Lauren even think to say anything other than, I hope you and Vince are good. You know, he told me you guys are working on it. Why would you come back and tell Vince and say, well, you said, to the point where Vince said he was upset. He said, I didn't get upset because I wanted Donna to have a chance to tell her side. Also, what leads me to believe that Vince is not being honest, even though his brother is co-signing him, which I understand because they look like Irish twins and they definitely should have each other's back. However, why was Donna upset to the point where she broke it off completely? I don't feel like out of everybody, Donna has been the one that is most like, why would she have a reason to lie? Donna broke it off. So if there was no foul on the play, why is she upset?
I don't know, but I would not be surprised at the fact that once she did that, him and Lauren rocked for a couple of weeks, but the thrill was over, baby. You were better when you were with her, and I was trying.
And Lauren is motivated to want to yeah.
Because that was the whole point of telling her. Like, if you win, you want somebody to know, somebody that was in the process, and especially the girl that he so-called picked.
He said that it was because Donna was only upset because it was Lauren. But what I'm saying to y'all, if Lauren knew, the girl that knows that you got a girlfriend, if she tells, she's trying to mess it up because she's supposed to shut her mouth. Vince allegedly told her, I'm trying to work things out with Donna. The only person that doesn't know is Donna. Donna is the only person in this situation that doesn't know what's happening. Lauren has all the information.
Nicole.
Well, yeah, we haven't even got to Nicole yet. Because Nicole, according to Vince, Nicole came 3 months later after all the dust had cleared. He was no longer talking to Donna or Lauren, which also doesn't make sense. I think he was still talking to Lauren because why would Lauren stop talking to Vince? She was actually still talking to him at the reunion. She's still talking to him now. They have never been on bad terms. So why would they now? I also noticed that Vince was slick. He said, I hadn't seen Lauren. So maybe the day that he saw, when he went out with Nicole, he hadn't seen Lauren in a couple of weeks because he was like, I hadn't seen it, but it's clear that they still talk. It's clear that they were still in connection. The only person that cut him off was Donna. So then Nicole is just opening her heart. She thinks that, now let me ask you guys a question. I'm not saying that Nicole is the sharpest knife in the book of love and emotions. I'm just saying she may be a little naive. But do you all really think that she would have been so excited about Vince if he didn't make her think that he wasn't seeing anybody else and that he was serious about her? Info. What is the info? I'm so sorry. Oh, and yes, there are. You guys, please like this. Nicole is a liberated woman. What? It's no hold on. Let me put some stuff up here so we can talk about it. All right, Bossy D says it's no coincidence Lauren happened to show up at Donna's coffee shop. I bet she hadn't been there before after that. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like Lauren wanted to do it. She planted seeds of discord. Vince lied. Ed and Lauren said Vince met up with Lauren the same day.
That's what I'm saying.
He chose Donna. He was sleeping with Nicole first, then Donna. What? Oh my God. Now he wore the same clothes, the same suit. So this is even worse. It's even worse. And unfortunately, Lauren is an accomplice to the crime. She's an accomplice. It's like the dude that tells the girl, I'm cheating on my girl because, you just, I'm like, what's the Usher song? You make me want to leave my girl and you make me want to leave the one I'm with and find a new relationship with you. Lauren makes it telling him all the things that she'll do better than the girl and how she's cool and da. And they both know that he's doing that, but Lauren wants to have one up on Donna. They obviously are not tired. They are obviously not tired. They are obviously, I'm telling you, Lauren is trying to stay in because she wants to have one up. So I just don't think that Nicole would have went in. She did say that Vince said that they were still seeing other people, but I'm saying he really had to make her feel like he was interested and there was a plausible option for them to really make a relationship work. I don't think she would have just blindly.
That's what we do.
And y'all be on the technicalities. It's a technicality because as he kept bringing up, everybody knew there are no victims. Everybody knew that I was still sleeping with other people.
Let me tell you.
Nicole agrees with the timeline. Hold on. Tell us, how does Nicole agree with the timeline?
So Nicole was cool with him seeing
Lauren and Donna.
Come on now.
Why would she lie and say she didn't know?
He said, you knew I was seeing other people. Yeah, not those people.
He used that with everybody because he said Donna was like, not Lauren. And I'm saying, but you know what? But that does bring a good question. Like, why would you, if I'm on a show, I don't know, because women have done some stupid things. But if I'm telling y'all, we've got to do better, ladies, because if a man can look me in the eye and pick another girl and tell me why I'm not ready to love, I'm not ready to love him. I don't want to love him. I want to love somebody else. I know Detroit is not that damn small that y'all have to not go outside of the cast. Get out of the cast.
It's about not being the loser in that set. I've still walked away.
When did Nicole agree to it, Tyra? I'm watching for your name. Tell me, when did Nicole agree to it? The timelines overlap. That didn't make sense. That's the bottom line. Oh, Jesus Christ.
After she comes down.
When did Nicole, Detroit is small, but it ain't that small. It is not that small that Lauren and Donna and Nicole had to, well, Donna moved on, but Lauren did not have to double back to
just think about this. Donna moved on.
I'm so sick of you.
Just take that.
I am so sick of you. In fact, I got something for you. I found out, because I really do, honestly, I don't understand why we're having this clash. I just think Donna's a beautiful woman.
You found that? What'd you find?
I found out that Donna dated one of the other guys on Ready to Love, from Dallas.
What?
He did an interview in the chat. Marvin, you guys remember Marvin? Marvin was into the BDSM.
Oh, well, that explains it.
That does not explain it. That doesn't mean that she was into that, because he said that she wanted something more. Not Lauren. Not Lauren was laughing about what has happened to Dawn. Was she laughing? What is happening? Marvin, the sex man. Yes. Marvin, the man that came on and told us about that man. Yeah. So I'm telling you, Donna is a beautiful woman. And Lauren is not dating Vince now. I don't think any of them are dating now. I do think they have hooked up. There's some hooking up.
If he took down all three, he won.
I don't think he took down all three. I don't know.
And Lauren she said it didn't happen.
Lauren said nobody even smelled her. Well, if that's the case, why are you wasting people's time? Leave these Negroes alone. Like, you're just playing with people. That doesn't even work. Just stop. Like, it's like, come look at me. I'm very pretty and I'm very cool and I'm better than her. Come over here. I don't really want you to go away. I'll come over here. Come on. Like, that's just a stupid game. Leave this. You don't really want that, man. And Vince was just a giggling on his. I do not.
Dang, that's guy talk. I bet you these guys talk behind the scenes, especially Bello and Vince. It's just an interesting thing. But that was the whole reason why Bello said he had the people he was closest to. They were all that trifecta.
It was that trifecta. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think, you know what? Consumer O said, I thought we were getting a more mature cast. I didn't. I don't think there's no maturity when it comes. They're all's fair in love and war. Yeah. All is fair. And people do. And also these people are like, early, a lot of the girls were early 30s. Ashante, Shannon, and they're early 30s. Nicole is like 36, but I do think somebody said, and I don't know if they're in the chat tonight, somebody said that because she is a pageant girl, she's been in a different world, and she's a PhD, she has her PhD. She's definitely not been exposed to the games, like a lot of other women have been.
You can hear it in her. These dudes, I'm telling you, these guys know. Any halfway seasoned guy would know that. And that's part of the reason why they didn't pick her, but that's part of the reason why you should, and maybe they're not mature enough to handle it and do the right thing with it. Vince probably saw her, walked away, knows she had a little fatty on her, and she do. And all the guys mentioned it later, because even Bello didn't know. It is what it is. And when Vince saw that, that's when he made the halfway U-turn, because he wasn't interested in her in the first place. But he knew she was in a vulnerable state, and he hopped on it, and he took advantage of it, and she was going to be cool. Any women like that, even, I hate to say this, but the women that I've known to be like that, they are the most forgiving women out of everybody. And
Well, it appears that all the women are forgiven. A lot of women be forgiven, but I don't know. Yeah, a lot of women unfortunately are forgiven. If Nicole's first boyfriend was a Q dog, bless her heart. I hope not.
Yeah, woo.
Hold on. My first husband was one. And that was my first college boyfriend. And I was dumb. I was dumb. I was very dumb. I just think I guess let me ask you this. And I asked for grace for Nicole.
Me too.
But I do think that sometimes when you are naive and when you do want love very badly, you can make a bad decision. And then in order to rebound from your bad decision, you may make another one. And then in order to rebound from that one, you may make another one. And then before you know it, your miles have exceeded, your odometer is up, and it can happen. It can happen.
Bodies start stacking.
And I remember one of my girlfriends, we had this conversation in college. I'll never forget this. We were like, because if you say you mess up here and you get it right over here, and then you mess, and then you realize he's not that, but for the grace of God, you could easily slip into hold'em. Just because if you deal with a guy, think about this. Think about Rose. Now, Rose was not on the beginning end of that poll, right? She was not at the beginning. But you talk to one guy, it don't work. You talk to another guy, right? Now, say you end up having some intimacy with him, and then it doesn't work. You go over here, you end up having a little intimacy over here. Yikes! Next thing you know, now you done slept with two guys on the cast. Yikes! That doesn't work. You end up going over here. This guy that you talk to over here knows another guy from the cast. It is easy to end up becoming women. It's only a few 6 degrees of separation. You get in a room and the numbers are adding up against you. Men are going to judge you. So yes, you may look like a wifey material, and you may have the I'm not making up words. You may look like wifey material. You may have the characteristics, but because you've allowed some of those bad decisions to go on without therapy, and what you got to do is you got to stop, because you don't want to go to the bargain basement, because in the bargain basement, you will end up with a man that you would normally not have been with, because you are feeling down on yourself and you're sad. So you got to really, really be careful, ladies, because you don't want to go too quickly to the next one and the next one and the next. You got to.
It's bad vagina management, as far as I'm concerned.
But I'm telling you, it can happen to the best of us. It can. I'm not saying this happened to me, but I'm telling you, I'm not saying it happened to me, but I could understand, specifically like in the music industry here. I've seen good women come, and they come in one way.
Dudes in the circle take advantage of the vulnerable people, like in this situation.
Yeah.
See that, and there's dudes that prey. Oh man, there's dudes that prey on that.
It becomes sport.
There you go. It's an opening, and they go in, and this is a.
I don't think she wants to be a hoe. I don't think that. I think she wants to be a mother and a wife. I think she wants to be a wife and a mother. And Aretha Franklin said, "A rose is still a rose." So even if you do fall into a bit of hoedom, you can always come back. You don't let men make you think that you can't. You can always come back. You may have to move.
No, you can definitely leave town. But here's the thing. Here's how you can halfway reset it.
Okay, tell us how to reset the odometer.
Take a break. You stay out the circle. You take a break. But when it's back to back, and then we look up, it's another homie. You look up, it's the homie. It's be like, well, God, you got to go completely opposite, and it's got to be a break. And everybody has to know it's a break. But
gotta take a break. And because what you don't, and I do want to say this, I want to speak on behalf of my ladies. It is unfair, and it is proof of this ridiculous culture that we're a part of, that men can play a different game than women can. And I know a lot of women, specifically young women, don't ascribe to the same the same tally that we did, right? So they don't feel like it's like, well, I'm just getting what I want. Yeah, but you can't really play. A woman can never play a man's game. A man has different equipment. He has different consequences and repercussions, and it's just not that way. So I don't suggest young women to try to play a man's game. You have to play a woman's game. And I feel like, you definitely need to take a period of celibacy. But first of all, you should not be giving up cookies to people that are dating multiple people. And if they tell you, well, I'm not waiting, well, then you need to, tell him to move along and make him a friend, put him in the friend zone. And then, then when you put him in the friend zone, then you will see, oh my God, I am so glad I didn't date you because you are a whore. But the thing about it is you hoes do get married every day. But that's also a little bit of a different, a man that's in the market for a hoe is a little different. You know what I mean? That's a little different kind of guy. I don't know if that's what Nicole is looking for. I don't think so. And I'm not saying that this has happened to her. I'm just saying because we see she's talking about liking Ed and then liking Devon and then dealing with Vince, you got to just slow down. You got to gather yourself. You got to say, you know what? I am better than this. And because these guys are all friends and they're all going to talk and this is all the same show, you just want to avail yourself of something different.
They all got each other's numbers. It's dudes sliding in, talking. So I'm telling you what happened.
Take a break, breathe, moisturize, do some Kegels, get some vinegar. Do the things that cleanse, get a couple of Yama Banzant books and get
Get a dog.
Get a dog. I mean, but you know what? Because which I'm telling you, get on the group chat. Because I think Mo gave us a very interesting point tonight that I did not know. Talk to your girlfriends immediately. Because did you hear that he said that men are hoping they can get in between that window between when you're sad and your girlfriends have your back? Get around your girlfriends and surround yourself with your girls. Remember that you're better than that. Do not take rejection personally. Do not.
There you go.
Do not take rejection personally. I am sure that Nicole felt some kind of way about Ed not, returning her feelings, right? But it's not personal. That's just not the man for you. You can't get stuck there. You got to think like a man and realize that it's a numbers game and there's somebody out there for you. It doesn't need to be Ed. And you probably need to get it out of your head of what it would look like and just pray for the things that you need.
I understand Ed. When y'all explained it, I didn't get it before. Y'all understand Ed now. Like, he had fun with her.
He what?
Enough not to do that. Because a lot of dudes wouldn't care. They'd just be like, it's my turn. So show Ed some respect, damn it.
I don't understand why people didn't like Ed. I'm like, Ed did the right thing. Ed did the right thing. And I also feel like he said that he did not agree with them saying he wasn't ready to love. He said that the scene was taken out of context. And when you hear, Ashley saying, well, I threw you a ball, I'm not mad at him picking who he wants. Men, he can pick who he wants. And women have to know if he don't pick you, good. It's okay. I don't think he did anything wrong.
Me neither.
I think that, now what do you think about Steven? I'm interested to know what I'm really looking forward to hearing on Friday. We may have an interview on Thursday. So just be on alert make sure your notifications are on because we may have an interview on Thursday in preparation for Friday. It may be a young lady. I've been chatting with her and we're going to see if we can get her on Thursday. But what was I saying? I don't forgot my train of thought.
We talking about was it Ron or Ed?
Oh no! What I'm saying, what I want, Steven. Yes, I want to know. I want to know what you think. I'm interested to know if Steven reached out to Shannon afterwards. What do you think?
I don't know Steve what he's into or whatever, but if he likes her, I think that'd be interesting. Why not? I mean, but if he didn't display that before, like, why do it now? That's my whole thing with all this. Like, if you didn't do it and you wasn't in nobody's top or second, like, it's just like y'all just trying to gravitate to what's open and now you're showing who you really are to me. Forget the show, because y'all run in the other direction when the cameras are off or when it's over.
Yeah.
And that just seems messy to me.
Is there any reason that one girl, well, I guess you gave us the reason that one girl would be good to pick on camera and another girl would be better in real life?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one that's not going nowhere, or you feel like this, like the good girl, you don't have to rush.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Those dudes ain't ready. So they be there. And those dudes know that. So once they already established who they got on camera, you can good girl like, hey, I'm just following the process, but you know it's me and you, baby. You know, I'm just going through the steps and finish on out the show. They ain't vote me off yet. So, you know, when they do, they do. And she gonna go.
That makes me feel like Lauren, because I think Lauren felt like she was 2 steps ahead of all the guys, but that sounds like what they told her.
Right. I mean, that's what you're gonna tell anybody that go. You're gonna be like, hold up, yo, we cool, let's stay in touch. Whatever, here's my number. We can, you know, I'm just doing this thing. This ain't about nothing. You know, I'm just being.
She said it was different between the show and real life, but I'm like, kind of, sort of, not really. Like, I mean, yeah, they're gonna tell you what they, but I think sometimes you can underestimate the other person and overestimate yourself. F at Narc says Ed also said today that he pulled back because Nicole had never expressed those intense feelings for him until they got on the show. He said there were plenty of other occasions throughout the years. I don't believe that. But I don't believe he's being mean. Let me tell you what I think he's doing. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I think that Ed saw something, and because he know Nicole, if he said Nicole dated his friends, he's given a lot of reasons. I think he just didn't want to hurt her feelings. Nicole is not shy. I think that he knew that she had a crush on him. I think that he did not want to say, I'm not interested. And so when a guy doesn't want to say that, he just kind of avoids the question, right?
Right.
I don't think he wants to hurt her feelings, which doesn't make him a bad guy, but it also, you know, it makes him a nice guy. It doesn't necessarily make him a good guy, because he probably didn't, but he also probably didn't know they were going to end up on a show together. I think he just was not interested in her, because that's not, if a guy likes you, it don't matter what has happened or what, he will be, he's just not interested in her. And I don't think there's anything wrong with her. It's just, that's just not his thing. If he was attracted to Donna and Lauren, then Nicole may not be his type, his physical type.
Thank you. That's all.
Yeah. I think he's making the excuses to keep from saying, I'm just not that into you. And y'all know we don't want to hear that. No woman wants to hear, I'm just not attracted to you. Oh my God, we would die. Well, I don't. Maybe some of y'all would be like, I'll be cool. I would be like, oh my God, I would be so hurt. And I'm sure that's true, but I'd rather just let you ghost me, I ghost you, we go, but I don't want to hear that.
That's a hard thing to tell, especially someone that's a sweet person. It's hard to just.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I would never hit on a guy first, because I do not want to hear.
Well, we're never going to say it, so you women can. We're not going to say it.
I'm just saying, if you hit on a guy, I remember that lady was hitting on you in Detroit, and she was just throwing herself out there, and you were just not. The ball was just hitting the ground, and I was just like, oh my God.
I wasn't me.
You weren't. He just kept laughing and scooting away. He would laugh, and then all of a sudden he would just reposition himself a little further away from the leg, and she did not care. But yeah, I think, but I'm telling you, Nicole is a PhD student. If you tell her, I see you as a little sister, she's going to ask why and try to change your mind.
That's what they do.
I know girls that have done that.
I definitely know a few.
I had a friend that this guy was like, I just think we should take a break. And she was like, no, we're not. It's like, you can't do that. You can't tell him that he can't break things up with you.
But like, this is where ghosting comes in.
Yeah, I believe in ghosting.
No, because
take the hint.
I've been in that, and I'm like, if I say this, she's going to try to convince me.
Yeah, and you're right. Because that one girl tried to convince you. Numerous people have tried to get. That's crazy. Like, you are explaining yourself.
why I got the ghosting, because I was like, you're not gonna. I'm gonna sit up there and listen to you tell me all the great things about you and why you think we could work.
And but you know why we know? Because guys do the same thing. Guys do the same.
You haven't got a chance to know me. I don't need to know you. I know me.
That's crazy. Trying to convince somebody is wild. But men do that. I'm sure the women in the chat, men will, well, why? Well, I don't see you as a brother. I don't see you as a sister. Well, I'm that men. Nobody. If they are a proactive person, right, and they're aggressive and they're not shy, they may keep trying to convince you. And I've seen women do that. And then when the man doesn't, then they assume that he's, something is wrong with him physically, he's gay. It's just like, y'all, sometimes he's just not that into you. That's why that book was there that was turned into a movie.
When you cave in and you be like, well, maybe you'll start overthinking and be like, well, and then you do it and you wind up back to the same place. It's just
Men do it all the time. So that's why we just know, just like, I would just be like, it's me. I just not in a good place. It's me. It's never them, because if it's them, they're going to try to convince you of why it's not.
You'd be like, you know what, trying to get my stuff together, and I can help you with that. What do you need? Just we can still be no, bitch. No.
Damn. But see, I think eventually the person will start to resent you. Because I feel like if you have to convince somebody and then they finally give in, then you're going to be like, whack ass. I shouldn't have had to, you should have already knew that I was that. I shouldn't have had to, like, it's not, you're not going to feel good about, you're not going to feel secure. You're going to be worried about them cheating on you. There's no way for you to be secure with somebody you had to convince to date you. I do think that could be an issue. That could be one of the things that could happen. Because the fact that she was even saying this is why I think that anybody that will tell a room full of people with cameras in it that they have a crush on somebody numerous times is a little bit diabolical. Because if you say it once,
got a point.
He heard you. But if you say it again, and then you say it again in front of other people, and the cameras that are like that is a lot of times. And then it's kind of weird for Vince to still holler after.
But they don't see that part because this is what I'm saying. This man
is. See that. I posted the Nicole putting everybody on blast. She done talked about Devon, but I tell you what, Devon really did think that he was. He really, Lauren, he really did think that Dominique was his top. And he really thought that he was going that way. He did. I could see from that clip.
Even from the kid. Dude.
But even though he knew that he didn't, but you know what it is? I feel like that's a case of him desperately wanting to operate in a pool that is not, definitely wanting to swim in the deep end.
Not healthy though. I wouldn't like that. That could be dangerous. That could be very, very dangerous. I would say anybody to be careful if you got something like that, because this person, they've already built this. Even with, unfortunately, with Nicole, like, you already built this thing in your head, and you gotta, and the flush that takes a lot.
Yeah, and when it is a little delusional. It is that suggests that they're, why is that though? Because I see I feel like people should stay within their range.
Because you might have got lucky one time and found something when it was vulnerable. And it was
no, I do want us to give it, we are giving her grace. I'm just saying that these are things that we want to be mindful of. We want to be mindful.
Yeah. All the grace, we get that.
Yeah, because I mean, she's not a bad person. She wasn't running games. She just got hurt and naive in the way. But I'm just saying, and I don't know that she's done any of these things. I'm just saying this is what happens often when there's good girls, and then they say when a good girl's gone bad,
Thank you.
You know, she's gone, because it's like you can get hurt and then don't recover, and then another guy come in, and if you just allow yourself to go with the flow, woo.
Because guess what, man? If the right guy would have nurtured that and brought it back to the right space and took advantage of that. The problem is you got people that do take advantage of that. Like, she's not wrong for feeling but to give it to the wrong person, which can easily be done when you're in that space.
But I think a lot of people, not you and not some of the women in this chat, but I just never expected Vince to be doing that. I don't know if I've just been out of the. I just never would have thought that he would be. That is wild to me.
You said earlier, and you hear men talk conversations because you're friends cool with a lot of guys, and you hear men talk. Mm-hmm. You hear a lot of talk that women don't hear.
I do, and I do have a couple of friends that I'll be like, "How are you pulling this off?"
But the fact that you do should let you know that the Vince thing that's a.
You know what? I can think of one friend right now, and I don't know, but I tell you what, with women. The reason why some men are pulling these things off is because women are not using their discernment. You're just focusing on the fact of you're looking with your eyes and not with your gut, right? Because I feel like we do have that spiritual intuition that we're given. That's a gift. And if you really get still and listen, something in you will be like, but you will want to push forward if you're attracted to him, and if you're operating in scarcity. And that's what I really had to stop doing with dating. I just had to, because people will tell you, oh, there's not enough men. Men will tell you, men are happy to share the stats, but I just would be happy to share with them that I'm happy, and I don't worry about stats. Stats don't stop me. But we must not. First of all, if a man ghosts you, do not get mad. Appreciate the fact that he has eliminated himself. I don't understand why I don't get those people that need to go talk and, you're right. That's true. I talked to a woman today. The saddest thing, that reached out to me about hosting an event for her, and her daughter was murdered by her ex-boyfriend.
Ooh. Hey.
So to your point, Ciante, sometimes somebody want to leave you, let them go.
Hey, man.
And a lot of times, we make excuses for people. It's like, oh, well, he doesn't know. I will admit, a lot of us made excuses for Vince. He's just awkward. He doesn't mean it. And I admit, I was dead wrong. I was like, Mo, you were right. I was wrong. I thought that he was, and then people kept saying he's an asshole. And I was like, he seems like, kind of an intellectual, but no, asshole. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But a lot of times we will see the good things and not, and he may be ADHD, but guess what? The ADHD is working for him. It's working for him. You can be both. Two things can be true. But yeah, Mo did definitely know. He saw through it. And then some people were like, I didn't. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. He was super awkward. Even the interview was awkward. I was like, Nicole was like, he's so much fun. I was like, is he? When is the fun going to kick in? But Lauren said we have a blast. She kept saying she had so much fun with Vince. And maybe he's fun. But I also want to say this. This is why, Mo, I do want you to speak to the other side before we leave here. I do want to be fair, because with the women, I can relate to some of the things that women may go through, right? Because I'm a woman. But I also know that men, I tell my girlfriends all the time, Vince has been married and divorced, right? And a lot of times men get hurt in their divorce, even if they cause it. Divorce is hurtful for everybody. It doesn't matter if you cause it. And there's no one person to blame in divorce. There's usually, two, unless they're extreme circumstances, we don't know. But I am saying that, we don't know if he's been hurt, and maybe that's why he doesn't want to settle down. What he did kept saying was his process, and he wasn't gonna move past that. So really, that should have been a red flag for a lot of women, that he's not really marriage minded. He's not really moving in that direction right now. And that would be a good friend, but he probably is not somebody that you would want to date, because he does say a lot of things that should be red flags, or at least yellow lights, flashing yellow lights. But it could be that, and I've talked to a lot of men, Mo, we've talked about this, that are damaged from divorce, and they pick up, you always say, they pick up where they left off when they got married. And a lot of men, they got married too early. They didn't get a chance to get everything out of their system. They're resentful at the fact that they didn't. And when they get back into the single world, they do not want to be caught again. They are not trying to, they do not want to be caught. Not anytime soon, until he's ready. And it could be that he's just not ready.
I was with two brothers Sunday, and they was on that type of time. And
you see a 45-year-old man trying to hit at everybody on the club. He has just gotten loose, and he may not, the juice is loose, and he may not go back, right? And or at least until he's ready. He's hurt. Men don't always work out their hurt in therapy or with their girlfriends. They tend to keep it inside and deal with a lot of women and become emotionally unavailable. That's what they do. But I think if more of us were open to the fact that they do experience hurt, they're not just, they do deliver some, but hurt people. And so I always say, be careful. When I talk to one of my friends that's single, that hasn't been married, and they're talking to somebody that has been married and is divorced, you got to wait. You got to make sure that man has healed, because some men walk around 20 years with that and have not healed.
That's a fact.
I done met men that I talked to so many guys in interviews and just talking to people. There were so many men that were still in love with their first wives. They were still hurt from her. And they because maybe she left, maybe they did something, they didn't think she was going to leave. And I'm not saying that they're right, but I'm saying that a lot of men are not over that. And just because he's single now doesn't mean that he is healed. And so what happens when you deal with a person that's not healed is they end up hurting you if you try to change them.
That's a fact.
So would you say now, Bello and Darius, I'm not saying they have not been hurt, but they they haven't been married. Darius was in a relationship, but Darius, I cannot do it, because I just feel like it's a lot of live wires there. But I just want to give Vince the benefit of, that I want to be fair, to him, And also, one last thing, none of these men went looking for this opportunity. Casting directors go out and find them and convince them to come on a show and have their pick of beautiful women. So it kind of sets women up for failure.
About that.
Yeah. It's not like he went and was like, you know what, I'm ready to settle down.
Brothers to go to speed dating, and you talking about putting them on TV? That's even worse. So just think about that for a second.
Yeah. And then but I do feel like, at least from what we've heard, he is serious about his being a father, and his priority is his children. And I've met a lot of men that were divorced and that were definitely trying, definitely very good fathers. And they just were emotionally unavailable to women. And a lot of women try to force them out of it. And you can't force somebody out of their pain, You can't love them out of it.
People will rush you and think you need to be, well, you should be at this age, does anybody ever stop to think it was that bad for them, that this is better? That's how bad it was, that he rather do this than do that. Or that's how hurt he was, that he rather this than do that. Or that's how it just didn't work and he just rather do this at this time. It might change, but for right now, compared to what it was, or compared to what he initially went through after the fact. He just rather not.
Yeah, and until he's ready, or not.
Or not.
Or not. Because some men are one. They when men fall, they fall hard. They hard. Someone said that just that Lauren was the best one, just friend zoned them all. I don't think that's what Lauren did.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what she did.
I think that's what Ashante did.
Right.
Damn sure. And the fact that she managed to stay on the show is you got to give it to her. That is crazy. I think, you know, you got to think if you're a divorced man and you're loose back into the streets, you're happy because you're free, right? But you're you know,
and I was with a brother that said something to me, and I was with two divorced guys. We hanging out, and I could just tell the sense of the one guy said, "I've never lived alone."
How old is he?
55.
Jeez.
And he was like, "I like this. I don't have to answer to somebody. I got the money that I didn't have then. I got this. I got all these things, and I don't have nothing. And I could just." He felt free.
Yeah.
And he's been divorced for 6 years. And the other guy was like, "Listen, man, he just didn't want it. They're not interested." And they was like, "I'd like companionship, and maybe, but if not, I'm cool." You know what I'm saying? I get to pick what I want. I get to do what I want. I don't have to answer to somebody. I worked hard. Nobody complain. I work too much. Nobody can just to complain. He said, "Why even bother if I don't have to? Now, if I want to, if I meet somebody," that's what the one guy said, "cool. But if not, I'm not tripping."
Yeah.
More than halfway through his life.
The problem is, so what are those men saying to the women? Do you think they're honestly telling women that they meet the same thing that they said to you?
I don't know. I know what I say. I'm open, but I'm not thinking about, like, if we're talking about the marriage portion of it, you know. But the women, just to watch them operate, I don't know who would take them serious.
Well, but the thing about it, at 55, yes.
One was 61, 62.
Hell no.
And he didn't.
Hell no.
He was, you know, I mean, he didn't look it, but I don't think he was that old.
Doesn't matter. At that age, you're gonna run into some trouble.
He was like, you know what he said too? Because he lives out off 20 going east, right? He was like, women will be surprised how many single men that have their own spot, live by themselves, and not tripping on none of this. He said a lot of them are out my way. And these guys do very well for themselves. And they weren't tripping on anything.
You know what? It's women and men like that, because when I was single, you know, before I met Gun Boss, I was really not looking, because I had one breakup that it wasn't hurtful. I was just like, why did I do that? I just wasted my time. I'm good. And I just didn't like the going back and forth. Women have been on that for years. I just think but it's crazy, because I guess my experience was a little different. I experienced a lot of men, once they get 55 and up, a lot of them seem to want a caretaker. And I didn't want to be a caretaker. I have a girlfriend that she has been engaged 4 times in probably that many years. And she always gets an older gentleman. I think one was like 71, most in their 60s, but they are able to provide because they have money, but they probably aren't, they're not, as virile as one would wish. But I guess after a while, maybe she wasn't worried about the virility, but I think I do feel like men do not like being alone as they get older. I think when my mom is downstairs, and my mom was like, do you know that my mom told me, Mo? She told me that when she goes to the grocery store, men are trying to holler at her. And she says she puts her head straight forward because she don't want to be bothered. I didn't know that people out here at the grocery store are hollering at my mom.
I'm not surprised.
I am. I was like, what are you doing in the grocery store? She said, I don't look at him. I don't make eye contact because I don't want to be bothered. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. But yeah, I said, dude, what is happening in the grocery? We live in rural Georgia and my mom is killing them at the grocery store. She said they're all different colors and races and everything, and they are trying to pick her up at the grocery store. But women are okay being by themselves. I don't think men really like being alone.
Hey, if they got dough and Viagra, they straight. Trust me.
Oh, because men aren't alone. Okay, so that's the difference. Men aren't alone. They're interacting with women, just not keeping them there.
That part.
So see, when women be done, they be like, I don't want to see a Negro. Like, I don't even want to go on a date. I'm good. Please leave me alone, sir. Please be on about your way, sir. Because I was like that for a while. I'm like, you just want to waste my time. I don't feel like, I just don't like time wasting. I think that's why I couldn't relate to the whole, I don't like to waste my time. I got enough friends to hang out with. I don't need to hang out with you. I don't, and if it's like, if I'm going to waste my time, I remember when I was in my deep, probably toxic stage.
Hey, this is going to be a long story.
No, I'm just saying that I would just be like, you know, if I could just work and make some money, why would I waste my time with you? This is not going to be a good return on my investment. So I don't want to do that. Like, I had that attitude. That was bad, but it was also very real. And it also allowed me to stack my paper and get my company in a good place.
Tell your mama stay out of Piggly Wiggly.
I am. I'm gonna tell. Well, she's at the Kroger and the Publix.
Stay out of it. Go Instacart.
But can you believe that she's in there doing that, hurting old men's feelings? I said, Mom, you could just say hello. She said she does not say hello back. That's a mean lady.
That's just mean for such a nice lady.
Well, she said she can tell. She said when you say hello to them, then they smile. She said they'll just be smiling at you, and then you say hello, then they think it's a door open to do more, and they do. Y'all don't leave well enough alone.
Well, why do you think he's still? I don't know why y'all thinking people just saying hi to y'all for no reason.
Well, that's why she's saying she don't want to speak back, because she said when she does, she said she'll speak, but she'll keep walking. But she said when you smile, they will take it like an open invitation, and she don't want to be bothered.
Only because y'all don't understand. When I come here during the week, I work 12 hours, get off at 7, and then be here at 8. So I'd be like burnt, and then do it all over again.
What are they saying about you? What are they saying? What are they saying?
They said Mo's ready to go.
Oh yeah. Well, we're late. We're 18 minutes over our usual. So thank you, Mo, for coming on a Tuesday. I got to work tomorrow night, and so I didn't want us to miss, because we're in the zone right now. We got to get this done. Please stay focused. Make sure that you like this and make sure you're subscribed, because we may have an interview on Thursday to set up Friday's finale of the second part of the reunion. Now, I hope there's more juice than what we've seen, because I'm like, are they giving us all the high points now? It's the same BS season after season. Oh, thank you. The community is good, y'all. We've had so much fun. Y'all can say what you want about Ready to Love, but we've had a good Detroit season. Yes, the reprint is tomorrow morning. The reprint at 12 noon, and then I've got to go into the city to we're doing a press day with Chili and Matthew. We're wrapping that up, and you guys, I'll ask you on Friday if anybody did watch the show Second Chance Love. It's on Hallmark Plus. If you would like to scurry over there and watch, and let me know what you think, please do. All right. We love you guys for watching. We're going to let Mo get into bed, and we will see you guys perhaps on Thursday, but for damn sure on Friday. All right. Y'all be good.
Easy, y'all.